Hey there, YouTube haunters, Brad Goodspeed here. Last year I did a sort of director's commentary of sorts for my 2013 video, and I thought I'd do the same here this year for our 2014 haunt video, which I released last week. And so strap in, here we go. So 2014 was a bit of a struggle putting together, I won't lie. I've written about this before on Facebook and talked about it. Motivation was a little low. It was a little hard getting people out this year to work on the haunt. Just people had stuff going on. It was just, you know, nobody's fault. It just was a tough year. And so, you know, the fact that the haunt went as well as it did is quite satisfying. I mean, you know, we had a tough night the first night where it was rainy and dreary, and lots of people came. The vibe was all right for the visitors, I'm quite sure, but for us behind the scenes, it was just, I don't know, the magic wasn't there. But on the second night, everything changed. Again, I've talked about this before, but we had incredible scares on the second night. It was dry out at least, although it was cold. But hey, this is haunting in Canada, so that's what you have to expect. We had a great turnout of actors the second night. Everything just went perfectly. So, first things first, this is our facade, which you don't get to see very well in this video, unfortunately. But that was new for 2014. Our greeter, who right there is my friend Jeff Orchard, who was in our promo 2 years ago. Our greeters always had to stand out in the rain, so I just wanted to build a structure to keep at least our greeter dry. We've had 3 straight years of rain on Halloween here in southern Ontario, so that was part of the reason. Plus, it just finishes off the haunt. So we thought that was a great addition. It was designed by my friend Justin Coupland, and it was built by my father and I. So this was the first room that they walked into, and it was kind of like, it was supposed to be like a dressing room, like a ladies' dressing room. The character you see there is a new character, Mildred Farquharson, who is played by Stacy Rose, a new actor in our haunt. And this is sort of the first thing that they saw, and it was just kind of to set the spooky mood. The idea here is that you're walking into the Provincetown home, sort of, when the Domovoy were stationed there, sort of before it was burned down. And then you'd enter into this second room, which was just covered in corpses and skeletons and stuff like that. And we had sort of our first scare there in a hiding spot. Now, all this footage you're seeing here is lit up by the camera light, so it was actually much darker in all of these rooms. But, you know, in order to get good footage for you all, that's what we have to do. Then they would walk into this hallway, which is kind of like a grand old, 1920s home-style hallway with the grandfather clock and the wainscoting. And then working their way through these hallways, they eventually get to where the scares just start coming hard and fast, one after another. Finally, they would lead into kind of this sort of brick hallway, which was supposed to be indicative of, like, you know, the basement part of the house. And this is where we would hit them with the air cannon. If you look at that candle that's mounted on the wall and you sort of imagine a line directly down to the ground from there, you'll see a little tiny hole right where that bag just hit. There's a hole right there, and that's where the air cannon was mounted. And the point of the air cannon was to get startles, of course, as you see here. And I had it hooked up to a peekaboo so that a light came on at the exact same time that the air cannon went off, so that the GoPro could pick up the footage. But the real scare came when the actor zipped in behind them. When they came from the previous hallway, they would open a door that you can see is kind of opening right there. They opened a door which would hide the actor spot, and then we could slam that door closed. We had a camera looking to see that they were in the right spot for the air cannon to go off, and then also in that previous hallway to make sure no one was there, that we wouldn't slam the door on them. And then the actor could come out and chase after them, and that's where you got amazing, huge scares. The air cannon's great, but like anything, it's just a distraction for the actor to come in. And I don't always show it in this video, although I stack a few of those actor scares near the end. But this was an amazing little hallway. We got tons of scares in here, and that's why I chose to edit together sort of the main montage of scares out of this scare this season. Also, because the drop panel scare camera didn't get great footage, but I wanted to vary it up this year a little bit anyways. So you see now here the actor would be able to get in right behind because the air cannon is such a distraction and get just absolutely incredible scares. And this hallway was really humming that night. All the brickwork there is all done by hand out of 1.5-inch foam. It was a great little room. I liked how it worked out. So when the guests came out of this hallway, they would pass through these kind of drapes into the next room, which was a room that I really wanted to get done this year, which is Mortimer Frankk's study. And first I'll talk about the scare that happened in that room. We had a doorway that we had to put in there just for necessity because that's the back of my garage and there's access to the actual house from there that we didn't want to obscure with the wall panels. So I had to put a door there. So we made it part of the scare. It slams open against a metal suitcase which was wedged in there, and then we had something in front so that no one could actually run into that door and get hurt. And we also had a camera mounted and a monitor behind there so the actor knew they weren't going to hurt anyone. But most of the set, the pretty part of it, is where the camera person is standing right now, so you can't really see it. But in behind there, right there, you can see some of it, is the set of Mortimer Frankk's study. And it was something I really wanted to get out of my head and into an actual scenic design this year. And there's a lot of photos at the end of the video that sort of show off all the detail work we did there. Mortimer Frankk is the main sort of villain in our story, and I really wanted to have his room. It was kind of like Indiana Jones's kind of office. I used to think of it as, because he was an archaeologist who was studying the occult, so he had to have a bizarre office. So moving now into our drop panel area, as I said, the GoPro camera that we had mounted up here that we got such spectacular footage out of last year, I kind of messed up and didn't take my own advice and didn't light the room brightly enough. And as you can see, the footage here, it wasn't great. But that's okay. I wanted to switch things up this year anyway, so we didn't edit together a huge montage with this footage, but, you know, we did miss out on some amazing scares where they just didn't happen to be under the light. I would say the drop panel is still where we get our biggest scares. I love that woman. She's amazing. She just surrenders herself to screaming and just flapping her hands. It's awesome. It's still where we get our best scares, but a lot of the scares we just didn't pick up on camera because they weren't standing right underneath the light. But it's okay. Again, I wanted to vary things up a little bit. And as you can see, we still did capture some pretty awesome screams here, just from the above camera and from this one in here, which was just our camera person standing in there. That child there probably gave us the best scream we got anywhere, any year of haunting ever. So pretty awesome. So, you know, the whole haunt got incredible screams the whole duration. Right there we had a great two-person scare where we had someone in the window distracting them, and then a second person came out. We got amazing scares there. All great screams all around. I mean, if you were to stand outside the haunt and listen, I mean, it was like a scream factory. I mean, it was just incredible, just constant screaming, more so than any other year we've ever done. So, more than pleased with it. It was really entirely rejuvenating having that second night and having, you know, having people react to it the way they did. We got about 350 people both nights. The second night was almost all adults, which was nice. It wasn't Halloween. The second night was the Saturday. It was all adults who came there just to get scared. And so, you know, they were there for that reason. It wasn't parents dragging their kids through, like kids dragging their parents through. Everyone there was there for that reason. And the reaction was great. People just seemed to love it. And it really, myself and the cast, everybody just seemed to have some kind of special kind of magic that night. We were back in this one hallway where there's like 3-4 actors and controlling like 3 or 5 different scares all from that one little area. And the amount of laughing we were doing, I was getting worried that it was going to get picked up by the guests coming through, because we just were howling. It was just such a great time. So that was our haunt for 2014. The best one we've done yet, I'm comfortable saying. Every year it seems to get better. And at one point it's going to have to get smaller, because we can't keep topping ourselves forever without becoming former haunters. That seems to be the pattern. I've, been working on Haunters Hangout for a long time and talking to all kinds of people. And eventually everybody becomes a former haunter when they keep trying to top themselves all the time. So my goal, next year we're going to do another big walkthrough, and then we're going to see how it goes from there. We may make things a bit smaller after that. Maybe not do a walkthrough, do more of a display. We're not sure yet, but in the meantime, I'm extremely energized for 2015. After a whole year of not being able to get into it, for whatever happened that second night, now I'm into it, and 2015 can't get here soon enough. I have all kinds of plans. I've got some new scares worked out. I cannot wait for our Canadian Haunters Association pub night, which is on Saturday the 22nd, because I'm going to get together with my friends there and hash through some plans and talk about new ideas, and I just very excited. So once again, I want to thank everybody who helped me this year. My crew is amazing. I've been told by a number of people how spoiled I am for having a great crew of enthusiastic people and cast who are willing to work on this kind of thing, and have sort of sufficient malleable imaginations to be able to lose themselves in something as ridiculous as getting dressed up and scaring people. But it was a great time. I can't thank everybody enough, and I can't thank you enough for paying attention to watching our videos, all the kind comments that came through about our haunt this year. I know it was a tough year for everybody. There was a lot of struggles around the haunt world, getting this year going, getting it completed, dealing with the weather, dealing with this sort of odd turnout on it being a Friday. And a lot of people had some sort of difficult times, but let's chalk it up to a strange year and move on for 2015, which in my opinion is going to be the best year yet. So thanks once again for watching, for tuning into the channel, for sharing the videos. I plan on doing a lot more in 2015. Once again, I'm quite energized, and I'm looking forward to continuing this discussion about building Halloween with all of you. So until we get a chance to talk again, all the best. I hope most of you are mostly torn down your haunts already and are getting ready to cruise on into Christmas. But until then, happy haunting.